This is the Steve Gruber Show.
Yes, it is. And I need to say welcome aboard. We're fighting for you from the Foxhole of Freedom every single day. Sitting here defending American values, American freedom. Who do you want in your foxhole? Three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, communist Zoran Mamdani, says he will give millions of dollars to illegals to fight deportation under federal law. Millions. He's going to bankrupt that city in about 5 minutes. Number two, could there be peace on the horizon for Gaza? Maybe. President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu just put out a 20-point plan yesterday that might finally get peace. The Palestinians, they say it looks pretty good. We'll have to wait and see. And number three, is the government shutting down for a few days? Well, probably. Will anyone remember in a few weeks? Probably not. But here they might. The word is 100,000 federal employees could be quitting today. As well, we are seeing all over. I guess that'll save a lot of time, paperwork, and money. 100,000 federal employees. One of the big hang-ups is the piles of cash and benefits for illegals. That's one of the reasons that the Republicans are saying no to the Democrats. Are trying to strong-arm all of this money. All this money for illegals. That's part of what's happening right now. J.D. Vance rips the Democrats for demanding benefits for illegals, by the way, at your expense, because it is at your expense. Listen to this.
We have to realize the Democrats, their whole argument is we are going to shut down the government unless you give $1 trillion for medical benefits for illegal aliens. The major health care reform that we've done in this administration is we've made it harder to give your hard-earned tax dollars to medical benefits for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to undo that. And they're saying that unless you give that money to those illegal aliens, unless you give those benefits to those illegal aliens, we are going to shut down the people's government. It's such a stark contrast between two parties' priorities. We want to put the government to work for the American people first. The Democrats want to shut down the government because we won't give free benefits to illegal aliens. It's such a good, again, contrast for what the Democrats stand for and what Republicans stand for. We're not going to be, look, we're not going to be taken hostage by the Democrats' desperate desire to give your tax money to illegal aliens. We're just not going to do it.
We're not going to do it. Absolutely not. And Democrats push to shut the government down, and Republican senators like Eric Schmidt are calling it out for what it is. Listen to this.
Their plan is to spend an additional $1 trillion to restore all the things that we rescinded, like Guatemalan sex changes and DEI in Burma. They want all that back, and they want health care for illegal immigrants. That's what they're fighting for. But again, they want to be perceived as the resistance more than a party that's willing to govern. And this is the time, I think, where we come together, fund the government, give us time to continue to work on appropriations bills. But the ball really is in their court. The Republicans are pretty unified here, and this is something, again, that Democrats have advocated for in the past.
All right, I'm pumping out a list here. I'm pumping out the list right here of all the things that might get shut down, right? Here's the list coming hot off the printer. I have a printer right here in case of breaking news, of course, to make sure you have the latest information. Who works, who doesn't, how much does it cost? Democrats demanding Obamacare subsidies extend out to illegals, right? And they're saying, well, unless we get all this, we're going to have a shutdown, which is weird because I took a walk down memory lane. I do that from time to time, and the internet never forgets, of course. Guess what I found? A bunch of Democrats saying you should never shut down the government. Wow, listen.
Stop holding this government and the American people hostage.
This is just no time to be playing around with people's lives.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down? I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way. It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis.
Chuck Schumer said a few months ago that a government shutdown would be chaotic, harmful, and painful. He's right, and that's why we shouldn't do it.
There's only one person standing in the way of keeping the government open, and that is the minority leader. The Schumer shakedown, the Schumer strategy to lead to a Schumer shutdown.
They want to roll the dice, I guess, so that they want to gamble with the American economy and with people's lives by shutting down the government.
The Democrats, on the other hand, want to give illegals health care. They want to shut down rural hospitals by getting rid of rural hospital opportunity
You
fund.
get it.
They want to add one.
Democrats say no shutdown, and here we are. So there you are in memory lane. So since 1980, there have been 10 of these things. Since 2001, there have been 3. All of them are different. Programs like Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid will continue, along with the Postal Service, Veterans Affairs, hospitals and clinics, and immigration and border security activities, among others. Federal employees will likely go without pay, however, and a string of agencies will see their services hampered by furloughs like the IRS and Small Business Administration. Housing programs may also see a delay in rental assistance and loans. We'll see how long it lasts. Typically, shutdowns see thousands of federal workers deemed non-essentials furloughed, but the Office of Management and Budget released a memo last week that directed agencies to use this opportunity to consider reduction in force notices for all employees. You're all fired, all of you. Programs that have no other available funding source and that don't comport with Trump's priorities if lawmakers couldn't fund the government. Reduction in force notices will be in addition to any furlough notices provided due to a lapse in appropriation, the memo read. And they will be issued regardless of whether the employee is expected to be furloughed in the lapse of appropriations. Then there's the cost of a shutdown. The cost of a partial closure this year unknown. The Congressional Budget Office did an analysis of the cost the last time the government shut down, 2019, $18 billion. In federal spending was delayed, which led to a dip in that year's first quarter gross domestic product of $8 billion. The report noted roughly $3 billion of that would not be recovered. $3 billion in a government spending $7 trillion. Federal workers who received delayed payments and private businesses were hit the hardest. Some of those private sector entities will never recover the lost income. So what's going to happen? Well, I think the government's going to shut down. I think that John Thune and others have put together a plan, and Chuck Schumer's rejecting it. Democrats can either vote for a clean, short-term, nonpartisan continuing resolution that prioritizes the American people, or they can choose a completely avoidable shutdown that prioritizes politics above all else. You see, the Republicans are all voting against the shutdown. Democrats are voting for it. That's where we are. It's not really much of a debate. That's what's happening. This part of the program brought to you by the Wellness Company. The Wellness Company. Man, you want to keep healthy, you need to do that for yourself. We've all heard the studies, testosterone in young men drastically decreasing every decade. One major study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found a healthy 22-year-old man in 2000 had double the testosterone of a 22-year-old guy today. So if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, you might want to listen up a little bit. Meet Mars from the Wellness Company, a doctor-formulated nutraceutical designed to restore vitality without synthetic hormones or stimulants. Mars helps men naturally increase testosterone, enhance circulation, and improve strength, focus, and sexual performance. Yes, sir. It's all available at twc.health/Gruber. Fight low testosterone. Get energy, get motivation, get fertility, get muscle mass. twc.health/Gruber. The promo code Gruber will save you money. Get ready to rock, boys. All right? There you go. I will take a break and be right back.